Dragon Episode 3, aka Damon's Coming Out Party. So Episode 3 starts out, Damon kicking ass. He's on the back of his dragon. I don't like Damon's dragon. The long throat thing just weirds me out, but it's pretty fucking mean for a dragon, seems like it's constantly wanting to burn somebody's ass up. As where Rhaenyra's dragon seems more laid back, in my opinion. Anyway, we come to it. They're at Crab Feeder's joint, right? Crab Feeder's running around there staking fools up. There's a guy, he's there he's like, "Oh, Prince Damon's coming for your ass." And then he sees Damon flying in on his dragon, and all of a sudden, fire everywhere. And he's like, "Alright, he's here to save me." And then the foot of the dragon squishes dude's ass. So that gives us the idea, Damon's liable to get you with some friendly fire, but huge balls. He's there by himself, and it's like they fling some arrows, and the dragon gets its wing up and is like shielding Damon. I was like, yeah, that's pretty badass. Dragon also blocks for you. Right. Anyway, then that's pretty much it. Crab Feeder, see, they're dug in on this island, right? And that's the thing, is the dragon don't do you no good when they're a mile deep in a cave that the dragon can't fit in. So that's kind of where they're at with this. The troops are having a hard time getting to them. They're coming out and doing these raiding shit, and it's just, it's not going well for Team Damon at this point in the war, right? Then we go back to the king. They're sitting here schmoozing. Dude comes up to the king. He's like, "Hey, shit is looking bad in Damon's war right now. You might want to do something." And he's like, it's Aegon's namesake day. Second birthday to us simpletons. Anyway, after that, the guy comes to the king and he's like, "Damon needs help." And he's like, "Not today. We ain't worried about that." And he actually, I think he's like, "Not for the next 3 days." Apparently it's a big royal hunt coming up, all this, and he pretty dismissive, right? Okay. Then Rhaenyra's outside, she's under the tree, dude's playing her a song, he gets done with the song, she's like, "Play it again." He's like, "Oh, Rhaenyra, this is like the 30th time we listened to this song." Alicent comes outside, she's like, "Hey, Rhaenyra, what's going on? You're dead." And this is like back and forth, and then Rhaenyra's like, "Play it again," trying to just diss Alicent, and Alicent pulls the queen commands you to leave. So Alicent got her there. Sorry, she got you there, because she was like, "The princess wants to hear the song again." Alicent's like, "The queen wants you to get the hell up out of here." And he's like, "Well, queen said go. I just out of there." You know what I'm saying? Then, and I have to say, Rhaenyra's not being real fair. Alicent, yeah, she's with her dad, and they were pals, but I mean, it's been over 2 years. Come on. It's got to get awful bothersome walking around the Red Keep, always worried about running into what's-her-name, because you and her's beefing for 3 years. Long time. Anyway, well, I guess it would be like 3 years, because they weren't even married in the last episode. So there would have been the marriage, then the 9 months of pregnancy, and now he's 2. Like 3 years at least. And, that's that. The royal hunt begins. Jason Lannister shows up. He is a, descendant of Tywin, Jaime, and the crew. Tyrion, the Lannister crew, so it's a throwback to Game of Thrones on, the Lannister debut. He tries to hook Rhaenyra up with a Lannister. She ain't having it. He's talking about Castle Rock is awesome, and we could even build a dragon fort or cave or housing for your dragon. And she's like, "Oh, hell no." So she goes back to Dad. She said, "Oh, trying to marry me off, huh?" And he's like, "Hey, we all had to get married. I got stuck with Alicent here. You getting stuck with somebody, it's part of being a Targaryen and a ruler." She's like, I don't like when you use me like that. And then she's all like, I'm getting out of here. Storms off on her horse. Dude, the night, Sir Kristen, chases her ass. He's like, princess. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. They go way out in the woods. They're sitting there, they're by the fire, they're having a moment. All of a sudden, the horses are like, Sir Kristen's like, sounds suspicious. I better go check it out. You sit there and all of a sudden, boom! The damn, turns out it was a boar. Same thing that got Robert Baratheon, Game of Thrones throwback. And, it storms him, knocks him down, then attacks Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra's got this thing by the tusks holding it off. I'm like, whoa, girl, you in some deep shit. And all of a sudden you see the sword poke out and miss Rhaenyra by like that much. So he stabbed the boar from behind and damn near got Rhaenyra in the crossfire. But it all worked out. She's got blood all over her. After he stabs it, she pulls out the dagger and it's like giving this thing hell, man. Throwing off some aggression from things that have been going on is what I'm assuming. Then, here we go. We're back to, is that all that happened? She stabbed that. Then they end up seeing this white buck, and it's supposed to be a symbol. It's kind of some foreshadowing that she is to inherit the throne, is what it's trying to say, that she's worthy, because they think it's like the white deer that the king's going to kill, and when they find it, it's a brown one, right? The king kills it, and he was like, yeah, and everybody was thinking, on his Aegon's birthday, the king's son, he just had the 2-year-old, on his birthday, if the king would have killed a white stag, that would have been definitely, Aegon was supposed to be king. But it turns out it's a brown one. The king kills it. He kind of looks relieved that it's not a white one, because I think right now he's like, I cannot backstab Rhaenyra. I've got to leave her as the heir, right? So that happens. Stabs it. That's all over with. Next thing we know, we're back to Damon. And it's like Corlys, Lord Corlys, they're all sitting here game planning, right, basically. And things are going bad, and then it's like Corlys' brother is like, hey, Damon's not helping us at all here. He's like, you ain't throwing Damon under the bus and causing a mutiny because shit ain't going good. It's not all Damon's fault. Well, that's kind of the feeling you get. He don't go all there. And the next thing we know, boom, Damon rolls up, right? You could tell. It looks like he just been over like burning the shit out of Crab Feeder's people for a few, because he comes back in like he's been doing something. He's been busy wherever he was. He rolls up, and the guy comes back. He's like, here's the king's message. And see, Alicent had actually told the king, you need to send Damon some help because shit's going bad. He is your brother, and so he sends him help, and he writes him a letter, and then it narrates the letter out. He's like, Damon, you're my brother, I wish for good fortune for you and all this. And Damon's just like, because Damon's like, damn it. Because now the king's sending help, right? So that's going to look bad on Damon, like he couldn't get it done, even though he had dragons and all kinds of shit. Still needed the big brother to come in and finish the war. So then Damon's like, screw this, I'm going suicide mission. Apparently, I think they planned this. They're like, we're going to use Damon as bait. Because the problem was they couldn't get the guys to come out and fight him, right? So you send Damon out there by himself, and there ain't no other troops anywhere as far as the Crab Feeder and these fools know, right? So he brings out, he sticks the flag down, hey, I surrender. And they come out to take his sword, and then Damon starts going off on an ass-whooping rampage. Crab Feeder keeps sending waves at him. He's just like kicking that ass. Then, all of a sudden, Damon gets hit with an arrow, then another one, and we're like, oh my God, Damon's going to die right here in front of us. What the hell was he thinking? And right when all these dudes are in on him, and it's like, it's about over, all of a sudden, dragon! Actually, they don't say dragon. On the trailer, you heard him say dragon, but in the episode, it doesn't say that. But anyway, there's Lord Cloris's son, this guy, and he is on a dragon. So, dragon riders in the Valerian house. Because you gotta remember, his aunt is Rhaenyra's cousin. The king's cousin, so Rhaenyra's whatever, cousin, I guess, yeah. And she is a Targaryen, so that's her son with Lord Corlys, aka the Sea Snake. I think that's what they call him. This dude. And so that's how he's able to ride a dragon, because he's part Targaryen himself. His dragon comes in, burns a circle around Damon to wipe out all these fools that are about to get his ass. And then all of a sudden you see Damon, he's like, oh, can't believe I'm still alive. He looks over and he's like, damn, there's Crab Feeder. Let me take care of this. And he goes into the cave after Crab Feeder, right? And then we're like, oh, right, big fight scene coming up. Nope. Next scene, Damon dragging half a Crab Feeder back out the cave. Just the top half. Apparently Damon was like, I want to prove to everybody I killed Crab Feeder, but I ain't trying to drag his whole body back out this cave, because I'm sure the guys ain't going to want to go in and look. So there he comes dragging him out. It's an arm and most of his upper torso, and that's about it. And I was thinking, why are you touching grayscale, dude, guy? But I'm thinking they're just going to let that pass. I don't see him being like, oh, Damon give himself the damn grayscale after he cut Crab Feeder in half. Right? But I wouldn't have touched Crab Feeder because he had the grayscale. We all know, if you've watched Game of Thrones, grayscale is bad. And the removal process is rough. I don't think I could have handled it. Anyway. And that's pretty much how the episode ended. But I would have to say Damon come out of this like a pimp. The stories of him when he gets back to King's Landing and the shit he pulled, he's going to have epic status. They're going to be like, well, maybe he should be king because he is one raw dude. Always fighting on his dragon, killing Crab Feeder, taking 2 arrows and steel whipping ass. So I think episode 3 was definitely good. Pro Damon. At this point, I'd have to say, because we know Viserys is going to die eventually, I'm Team Damon. There should be a Team Damon. I don't think that's the way it's shaped up, but I'd be all about Damon being the king. Even though he's kind of rough. That was episode 3, House of the Dragon. Episode 4 coming out Sunday. We'll review.